That's it.
Awesome.
Simple. Now I
Thank
got to do it.
you.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. No, thank you. I felt really, first off, it threw my production brain out of sorts, and I'm a chunker and I'm like, I like having my schedule and you know how it is.
Hmm.
You and I probably have so many similar characteristics. I think that as we learn these things about calendar obligations, for me, I screw it up so badly. It's like, thank God for Sandy. And if you don't get on even when I meet with students, I have to put it on the calendar now. So
Thanks.
Sandy, what the heck I'm doing? She's like, well, where the hell is he? Or what's he doing? Oh yeah, that's right. He's got that meeting today, or he's got this. Cause I do a lot of stuff at the university still. And the beauty of this life is the flexibility that I have now, because I still have my tentacles all over the university, which is awesome because I love my people, my Spartan family. But then we can do this, and we own our own copyright. It's just, we control our own destiny with this thing, but you got to do your own work. So,
Right.
oh, good. And if I can help you over I've told you this several times. If I can help you at the gym, I will. But I think this is a bigger, Dewan said the same thing. He said, this is probably, when I told him I was going to have you on and promote the gym, we don't need promotion. We got too many people. And
He is absolutely right.
If you see this video, I'm not, no, and no offense, he'll laugh, but the new building, when it's done, is going to be full immediately because we need it so badly.
Hmm.
It's like, I can't wait. But anything we can do to promote, what I would like to promote is the retired, refired faculty staff, and more of the active faculty staff to come in and improve their lives through the facilities that we have at you. It's like educational assistants, Bianca. I mean, I finished my bachelor's, my master's, all kinds of additional educational things, educational assistants. I worked that whole angle big, as you probably will be too. Now you get your year in, and is it a year that you need before they start paying
Hmm.
for tuition? That's such a huge benefit. I
Yeah.
mean, I got $100,000 worth of education from my job. It's like, are you kidding me? It's like so awesome. So thank you so much. And now that when you get a chance to listen to this, we'll talk more in person, but I see this, going on a bigger scale. At least if people don't want to come into the gym, at least we can plant seeds where they can do things at home.
Hmm.
Because that's always been, as a trainer myself, I've always been like, hey, I don't want you to be dependent on this building or that dumbbell. I want you to be dependent on the gravity, your body, that floor, and we can get some shit done. And that's
And
it.
we are doing a lot of different things because we do have so many people in the building. So we do have like a virtual yoga class. We're starting a early morning yoga class in the turf arena at IM West, just because we can't, like, our classes have like 50 people in them right now. They're so big.
Why don't you and I talk about, and this would be separate from radio, but we could do a little tiny, like, 15-minute podcast. I do all the heavy lifting. You and I would just record it video wise, and I
Okay.
could edit it up and send it to you, and just, you could put it on the website. That's something to think about, because I've gotten my skill set's gotten a lot better at this, and I know how to kind of function with these smaller chunks. And so anything under 10 minutes, maybe even like a 7-minute podcast, video podcast of all of your courses,
Okay.
I'd be happy to facilitate that with you. And maybe that's where I offer my assistance, is like, well, let's promote the virtual courses, not the physical facility, because that one's doing fine, but it's all
Hmm.
of your other, because you got all those satellite, you got the outdoor arena, you got the outdoor facilities, right?
We are working, and we are also working on trying to get the classes back in the neighborhood, so in the residence hall. So that's a process, but the communication has not been great in those buildings. So I have told them, like, if you want us back in there, here's a checklist of things that you need that I need before I'm going to put my instructors back in there.
I can help
After
you. I can help you with that for
Okay.
sure. I have a
And
lot.
I mean, we're working on it, but just since, like, after February, I just need to make sure that I know exactly, like, what emergency plans are, what, like, my people need to be. I need to know that they are in a good environment.
They need to know what's going on, because I did all, because I know all those buildings. I know all those buildings inside out, all those residence halls and the fitness centers that we had. Some of them were pretty nice, but then, RHS was managing, no offense to RHS, but you guys, you need Bianca's crew in there to manage you need the pros.
Dewan and I have had this conversation because he would love to like facilitate those
I'm
places
sure,
too.
and it would take they take that load off. You got to get the money, you got to have the funding to set up the rooms, but keeping the rooms clean, safe, well ventilated, all of the things that we've learned through COVID for West, you apply all of those principles now into the going back into the residence halls. And so, yeah, that's big. I guess I should have been aware that, yeah, they probably shut all those rooms down during COVID, never reopened them.
We had some last year, but again, the communication was so bad that anytime, I mean, just like getting wipes into a facility, my instructor, like I would hide wipes in the rooms, or my instructors were like, I was buying wipes for them to carry around with them because it's like germs. Like we can't, there are, you know, things that people who don't necessarily use those spaces, they don't even think about.
Right.
And
Yep.
I just am not, again, until I know that they are fully supported, and I don't have to be the person trying to figure out like one more thing. Yep. The classes won't be back in there.
You got to have your punch list. It's just having that's a physical plant kind of mentality for me. It's a punch list, like you're building a building. We got to have all of these things done before I open that door.
Yep.
And once these things are, and then you can train people on the checklist, and you say, this needs to all be done. Check it before you go. I'm the guy at the gym, and I tell the staff and the fitness center staff, the students, I'm the guy who takes the lids off of the wipes when the wipes are empty. And then, and I tell the students, because like this, just Friday, 2 of them down in the big area, because I don't do the big lifts except on Fridays. Both of the big wipes in the big lift area at West were empty. And so I took the lids off, and I go to the desk and I say, hey man, we got to get those filled up. And I'll stop and I'll just go tell the desk. And because that's part of the deal. And I have heard from other people who have joined outside, no offense to any of the other gyms outside of Michigan State, you guys, I'm going to be very biased here, but we keep a very, very clean facility, and it's important. I mean, some of the gyms that are in mid-Michigan, people have told me they leave a little bit to be desired. As far as the cleanliness, as far as the machines being safe and working. I mean, I see Dewan Wiley with his tool belt and his stuff, and he's tearing a elliptical apart. And it's kind of amazing to me how good he's gotten at all that. He's really embraced.
He is awesome, but we will never tell him that.
He's been on the show a couple of times, and he's another humble cat who comes from such inauspicious beginnings. And that's the thing about when you go through the struggle, and I've had mine, I've been alcohol free 25 plus years now. And it's like, believe me, I know.
Right.
I've lost friends. I've seen it. I've been down the road. I get it. It's like, it is what it is. So,
and congratulations to you. That's a big deal.
I appreciate it. It is, there's a video that I did with Kevin. I forget Kevin's last name. Anyways, his daughter, he's a gym friend, works at Michigan State. Gosh darn it, I can't remember. You know him. He works over at the stadium. Anyways, we did a video on my anniversary thing because we ran into him and his daughter. I had inadvertently helped him with his daughter, who was going through a drinking issue several years ago, just in talking to him in the locker room and giving him a little bit of compassion and feedback from my perspective as a problem drinker. And he mentioned that during this video. It was strong. It was strong, and makes me choke up just thinking about it, because there's a lot of people out there that are struggling. And so we're that's the thing about you and I and your husband and my wife and all the people we work with. It's like, do this thing. All right, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much. I don't want to bend your ear anymore. I got to do a little production work, but it's been awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Tell Lorenzo I said hello.
I will.
And we will survive. I wanted to tell you, I don't know if you saw this, but our seats are in the corner, the northwest corner of the stadium, down about halfway in the corner. Really good seats. And so Sandy and I had a really good chance to see Harlan. I know Harlan really well.
Mhm.
And when he held the team in the tunnel before the
Loved
kick,
it. Loved
oh,
it. I said his wife and I are really good friends, and I sent her a message and just said, after the game, clearly not the outcome that we wanted, but watching him in that tunnel gave me chills. I
oh,
love that family.
I don't know how many people see. A lot of people don't realize what was going on down there, but we were watching very closely, and he held those guys, and I watched him. It was like, oh, I swear to God, it was so emotional. I was like, oh my
Yeah,
God, so
yeah,
great. This guy deserves this chance. And it's
he
like,
does.
don't judge him on, and I'm talking to the camera right now. I'm putting this out to the freaking internet. I'm politicking for Harlan Barnett. Now you got to give a guy,
Same.
you can't exactly, right? I mean, it's like, God dang it. You can't base this on this week was a rough week. I'm glad our team even showed up national TV. That team we played against last night, those guys could compete for the national championship.
And that's what, like, ranked number 8. I'm like, what did we think on a good week? What did we think was going to potentially happen?
Exactly the same thing. The same thing. It's the same players. It's the same thing. And then I thought they did pretty darn well. I mean, so, but that whole intro thing, oh God, it was just like, it was magic. I was brought to such emotion. It was like, we were both looking at each other like, holy shit, did you just see what the hell just happened there? Because a lot of people don't understand what the hell
I'm
was.
glad that you saw it, because that was my same feeling too. There were
Oh,
people, we were sitting with, I was, because Lorenzo was on the field. I was sitting with like all the football returners, so I wasn't really,
yeah,
and there's always coaches who are in the stands who know better,
right.
which has always been hard for me to attend, because I have to behave myself.
Of course.
But there's so many opinions about what, Coach Barnett should have been doing and what he didn't do this week. And I just, like, you have no idea. This man, like, he is Spartan football. If you like, I don't know.
Oh God, yes. Totally 100% agree.
Yeah.
100%. And having Coach D down there as
Oh
his
my gosh.
anchor, and then showing him on the screen, and then having the Rose Bowl team there. And the thing is like, I knew that was happening, but I didn't realize it until I saw it at halftime with those, or whenever it was, the second quarter.
Yeah.
When they had those guys down there, and I, because I asked Sandy, I said, because Sandy, you're a coach's widow, and Sandy was a telecom support staff widow, because I was gone.
Right.
And so I'm working that game, and I'm seeing all those guys, and it kind of the impact, because I've got all of these mementos in the studio of that game here in this room right now. And it's like, that was a gift. That was just.
Yeah. Yesterday happened to be Lorenzo's birthday. And so people are like, what are you doing for his birthday? I'm like, where else would we be? On a home game? Just because he's no longer with football doesn't mean that we're not with football. So it was just to be able to see all of those guys. They're adults, they're like thriving, they're fathers, they're husbands. That's, oh God, yesterday it was everything.
It was great. I mean, the whole thing, it was a win, except on the field. And we were 17-point dogs for a reason. And again, sucker bet. And I would have been one of those losers, because I was like, oh, I think we got a shot at an upset. I really did. I felt that, because it's like, I've been so many times I've been on that field when we were just completely kicked to the curb. And it's like, no way, I don't know how. I remember the Wisconsin game. I don't know, it's been a while now, but they were like 4th in the country. It was a night game, and we came out, kicked the shit out of those guys. And
Well,
it was
that's like the Big Ten championship against Ohio State. That's one of my favorite games ever.
I worked that game. I was there. I worked both those Big Ten championship games. And it was like, that, I mean, again, the blessing that we have with the job. I mean, how many people get to do the things we get to do? Not many.
I try to explain to Nadia, because she does not enjoy it. It's a lot, like it's a lot for her. But I'm like, you are living a grown man's dream, honey.
You have
to
no
be able
idea.
to be in the facilities that you've been in. She was born, we were at Notre Dame. To
Yep.
be like, she used to just go there and play. I'm like, you have no idea. We had like taking pictures with the Heisman Trophy. There are people that you don't even know.
you see some of the pictures? Because last year I was gifted Roy and Luana's seats because we're really close with them. And we're super close. I mean, I work for Roy. He's my mentor. He's like my big brother. I'm proud to say that. Luana's the smartest, one of the best athletes you'll ever see. And I mean, as an athletic woman athlete, I don't know how many people know this. You probably know this, but Luana Simon is like, she's a badass. She's 76 years old, and we had dinner with them the other night, and it was like she was kind of gimping around, her back was sore. And I said, so I kind of gave her a little, I said, well, what are you doing? You got to get on the foam roller. You got to work that out. And she played 36 holes of golf in a cold weather and didn't get a chance to warm up very well because it was cold. They were in Traverse City and played golf every day, and then a 36 hole. And I'm like,
no way.
You got to overuse injury. You got to freaking chill. Right. And she walks. And it's like, and you walk, and she rode the 36 hole, but she walks normally. That was part of her problem, she was saying, because she usually walks and gets loose, but because they rode and it was cold. And I'm like, well, yeah, exactly. You were not ready to go to that length, 36 holes. That's a long day. That's a lot of work. So you just look at the work.
We had a conversation, Dewan and I had a conversation with a couple of the students in the building the other day, and they were amazed that we are old enough to be their parents. And they said, one of them said, you're seasoned. I told them, this is the goal, kid, like to be, 40 plus and still feeling good and doing what you want to do, moving how you want to move. Like, this is
look at me. I'm 64. And it's like, I did a session with Michelle Pell. That's the person you really need to get to know over at RHS. And I gifted that, I gift that stuff to them. I'm not charging her for my time. She knows what I get when I sell my services like that. I charge a lot because my time is very, very valuable. Mm-hmm. And, but for her, just getting her in that gym and just getting busy, she's like, wow, you're doing, and I said, this is part of my job and I love my job. And it's like, my 3 hours that I put in, I'm slower than hell when I'm in doing my thing. I'm doing that on purpose.
Right.
I'm purposeful with my workouts. That's why it takes long. That's why I'm very grateful that it's like, yep, I've got my body clock ready to go. Sandy likes it. She gets the house to herself all morning. It works out perfect because she can train in the basement, and we have our gym in our basement. She's perfectly content with that, or walk or do whatever she does. And I'm out of her hair. Mm-hmm. And then I come back or I have my meetings with people on campus. And it's like, Michelle was like, this is this is the best I've seen you look. And I'm like, I'm telling you right now, this is the best I've felt ever. And but that's the point. Keep getting better.
Right.
Just keep getting better every day. Just get better a little bit. Like doing a show like today. I think if this works, seems like it worked pretty well. I mean, I rarely do Sunday production stuff, but if this works for you and I, it seemed to work really well, then this will become our thing, because I'll do whatever we got to do to get these sessions in. Okay. And if it works for you, because I know how busy you are, great. I do like the idea of doing that little 8-minute podcast if you want to talk to Dewan or whomever you would need to discuss with that. And I'll do the production work, and I'll just give you the stuff. And, I'd like to share it on my YouTube channel, but I have all of these facilities now, that I built and we pay for. And it's like, well, a lot of this stuff is yeah. I mean, if you want to consider doing that, because I like to, when you do something like that, you have to have it's like when I explain doing a podcast, a successful radio program, you need to have good, like Major League Baseball or basketball, where you have the play-by-play and the color person. And the color person is an expert, and the play-by-play person just kind of drives. So you just have somebody who sets it up. And so with something like that, what I would suggest we would do is give me 2 or 3 leading or topics that I could build a leading question around. And then I just feed those to you. And in this 7-minute segment, we're going to talk about virtual yoga classes. This segment, or this is going to be whatever. Did you know at Michigan State, we offer this remote, and we want to help all of our community because I've always said the more people we touch, I learned this in the Spartan experience, Bianca. I taught that for 8 years. But the more touch points we have with people, thinking like retirees and faculty, staff, and just everybody, let's be real. It does not hurt the university if we have friends who want to donate money to the university or to our programs and help support these things.
Mm-hmm.
Give to them, they will give back. You just have to give them something and prove to them, hey, we want to help you, but let's be straight here. We could use
our classes, our programming that's on campus. I think with so many students now being in the facilities, I get a lot of calls and a lot of emails from professionals who are like, I don't necessarily want to be taught by a student. I will guide people and walk them through these are the people. I don't just have students, staff. I teach a couple classes a week. If they're looking for something specific, like I call us fully functioning adults that teach classes so that they feel more comfortable in the environment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like having a trainer. I'm a niche, even though I have very strong relations with the student body because I've been around forever and I'm so used to it and they're used to me. But when people see me, they say they can relate. And that's why I do my videos, because it's like, I told Tony, I said, the reason I do my dad talk, a lot of my dad talks in my because I'm getting ready to go to the gym anyways, early morning, but I have my sleeveless on, is because I want people in their late 50s and 60s to know, hey, here's a fit guy. I'm not like Arnold, but just living a good life and being healthy. It's like, I'm not going to be a giant guy. I don't want to do that. We didn't even talk about your fitness. You notice how we didn't even talk about your fitness career with the bodybuilding stuff at all, because you've got such a base of knowledge. Down the road, we can talk about that if you want, but that all of it is just giving a visual example to people and say, we just want you to understand you can do this.
And I only train moms. Like I've had men try to reach out to me who are like competitors who are interested. I feel like men have enough like resources. I'm not interested. Young people who I just feel like they're in a different place, like mentally in life. Moms, it's really hard. Like I need you to understand that prioritizing yourself is going to be hard, but your children are watching. So if you don't prioritize yourself, then they're going to learn that this is like what you're supposed to do.
This is going to be, when I cut this, because we're still recording the Zoom, I'm going to cut this whole ending segment, everybody, closing chatter. That's why I record this, because this is really important. And then maybe we're going to build our little podcast around talking to the moms out there, because that is vitally important. Mm-hmm. And what I'm doing upstairs now at the gym, I flipped from going over that studio over there to my little area up by the rowers, and I set up like a little 5-station little thing. And if students want to jump in, great. I'll set it all up. I'll tear it all down, bring my rope, bring my bands, do the thing. And it's working. And it's like, and we're going to crush. I mean, if you want to jump in, great, but they're going to be like a bunch of talking and a bunch of like screwing around. We're going to get busy. So
right.
It's fun. So it's like, that's all good. All right. You'll like this, because I'm going to produce this. I'm definitely going to produce this out and make a note of that, that this closing segment, I will throw some additional editing on it to polish it up a little bit. But what we were just discussing is gold. Sometimes this in between stuff is even better than the radio show.
I can imagine.
I love the radio show, that, but it's but it's just the interplay and the conversational stuff. It's like, it's pure. Mm-hmm. We care, and it's like, we want people to get better. So you guys have a good Sunday today. I've taken enough time. I mean, it's 10:22. So did that work okay? 9 o'clock for you?
Yeah, it was perfect.
Great. Okay. I think we're going to have to target that, you and I, and we'll just do it. We'll just go with it. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
So much. Tell Lorenzo I said hello, and I'll be in touch with you. You'll probably be on 2 more times before we get him in the spring. So
okay.
That's fine. I mean, we do not have a problem at all with our guests, as you can see, I want to promote the university. We're going to do good things to promote the university. And that's the beauty of us owning the copyright. Nobody tells us what to program. Mm-hmm. Nobody. So it's cool. It's fine. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Have a
See you
good day.
tomorrow. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
She's greatness. That's going to be a nice chunk of beautiful content coming at you guys with all this. Bianca Guess. Let me read it. Let me find her. Where'd that bio go? Still recording. It's fine. Former collegiate athlete, coach turned fitness professional with over 20 years of experience. Talking about Bianca Guess, my guest that we just finished. Earned her undergraduate degree in Kinesiology, Saginaw Valley State, MBA. Super smart mom. And I did not know that she is when she does the personal training, it's only for moms. So we're gonna come up with a little concept here, and it's gonna be sweet. And that's what I'm living for, is doing all this good stuff. So hey, hope you guys take some good things out of this. That was a really good episode. They're all really good, and I appreciate everybody that sticks around, watches this, and so share it, do whatever you do. Like, subscribe. You know the drill. Okay. Watch the hashtag Dad Talks on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok if you have that. I don't put too many of those up on YouTube. YouTube gets a little funny about my cursing, but hey, it's fine. It's all good. Have a great day, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. Peace out. Thank you, Bianca. You're great.